Ever wondered what truly separates men from boys? It's not muscles, money, or age. It's the quiet fire of discipline, that silent agreement between a man and his higher self. Boys talk about dreams. Men wake up early to build them. Boys are ruled by impulse. Men are guided by structure. Discipline isn't glamorous, but it's what builds the kingdom within. A boy needs someone to push him. A man pushes himself. That's the difference. When a boy feels tired, he stops. When a man feels tired, he remembers why he started. Discipline doesn't care about your feelings. It only responds to your actions. The world doesn't bow to your emotions. It bows to your consistency. Discipline is not punishment. It's power. It's saying no to your weaker urges so your higher purpose can breathe. Every time you choose effort over ease, your soul sharpens. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, your confidence grows. That's the alchemy of a disciplined man. He turns struggle into self-respect. Boys want to be seen, men want to be remembered. That's why men stay silent when boys seek validation. The disciplined man doesn't chase attention, he attracts it through his energy. He's not loud, his results speak for him. His presence commands respect because he's mastered the one thing most can't, himself. The difference begins in the small things. How you wake up. How you speak to yourself. How you handle boredom, anger, and failure. Discipline is built in the dark, in those silent battles when no one claps for you. Boys avoid that silence. Men live in it. That's where strength is born. Most people never realize this truth. Discipline is freedom in disguise. Boys see rules as chains. Men see them as a structure that keeps chaos away. Discipline isn't about restricting your life. It's about taking control of it. Without it you drift. With it you rise. Every great man was once a boy who chose responsibility over pleasure. He learned that the world doesn't owe him anything. That's when the transformation begins, when excuses die, and accountability takes over. Discipline is that moment when you stop blaming the world and start building yourself. Boys live for now, men live for legacy. A boy seeks comfort today, a man invests in tomorrow. Every act of discipline is a deposit into your future, your strength, your mindset, your destiny. The undisciplined waste years chasing comfort, while the disciplined build empires brick by brick. The hardest battles are never fought against others. They're fought against laziness, temptation, and doubt. Discipline is the sword you carry into that war. It cuts through weakness and reveals who you truly are. A man without discipline is like a warrior without armor, fragile in every fight. You can tell the difference by how they handle failure. A boy quits and calls it unfair. A man studies his mistakes and grows sharper. Discipline gives him patience. It teaches him that losses aren't the end, they're part of the process. That mindset separates men who evolve from boys who repeat. Most people want change, but only a few are willing to earn it. Discipline is earned through repetition, through resistance, through self-control. Boys say, "I'll do it when I feel like it." Men say, "I'll do it because it must be done." And that's why life rewards them differently. A disciplined man carries a certain calm. It's not arrogance, it's control. He's not swayed by opinions or chaos. He's stable because he's trained his emotions. Boys explode when tested. Men endure and execute. That's the aura discipline builds, quiet, unshakable, commanding. You see, every man faces two voices inside him, one that says, "Rest," and one that says, "Rise." The boy listens to the first. The man listens to the second. Every morning, every decision, every habit, discipline decides who wins that battle. Discipline isn't built overnight. It's sculpted over years. It starts with one small decision: to stay consistent when the mood fades. That's the secret. You won't always feel like it, but you must act like it. Every repetition rewires your mind. Every routine makes your will unbreakable. The undisciplined seek shortcuts. The disciplined seek strength. One looks for ways around the mountain, the other climbs it. That's why the disciplined stand alone at the peak, not because they're lucky, but because they refuse to quit halfway. Boys love pleasure more than purpose. They let the moment control them. But a man knows that chasing instant gratification weakens his spirit. He saves his energy, his time, his focus, and invests it into mastery. That's why men of discipline radiate a different energy: calm, confident, and respected. The disciplined man is not afraid of pain. He knows it's the entry fee for greatness. He doesn't run from discomfort. He uses it as a compass. If it hurts, it's helping. If it's hard, it's worth it. That mindset turns ordinary men into legends. Discipline doesn't always roar. Sometimes it's just a quiet no. No to distractions. No to weakness. No to anything that pulls you off your mission. Boys chase everything. Men choose what matters. That's how they stay focused in a world full of noise. The man of discipline doesn't need to prove himself. His results do it for him. His body, his habits, his energy, all reflect order and purpose. He becomes someone people respect not because he demands it, but because he embodies it. That's what real power looks like. Remember this: the difference between a boy and a man isn't time, it's transformation. Every act of discipline chisels the boy away and reveals the man beneath. You don't become a man by age, you become one by action. Discipline is the fire that forges that evolution. The moment a man chooses structure over chaos, he begins to separate from the crowd. Boys fear rules, men create them. Discipline turns life from random noise into a clear symphony of purpose. It gives direction to energy, shape to ambition, and meaning to struggle. Without it, even strength fades into confusion. Discipline teaches humility. It reminds you that greatness is earned, not granted. A boy seeks glory without grind, but a man embraces the grind because he knows it builds him. Every repetition, every sacrifice, every long night, they're not punishment, they're purification. In a world full of distractions, the disciplined man becomes dangerous. While others scatter their focus, he moves like a laser, cutting through chaos. His attention is gold, and he guards it fiercely. That's why his results compound while others wonder what went wrong. Boys follow trends, men follow truth. Discipline keeps you grounded in principles when the world keeps shifting. You don't move because it's popular, you move because it's right. You don't quit because it's hard, you keep going because it's necessary. That's what separates leaders from followers. Discipline demands sacrifice, but that's the price of evolution. Every version of yourself you outgrow demands that something dies: laziness, fear, comfort, doubt. Boys avoid that death, men welcome it. Because they know, to rise higher, you must burn weaker parts of yourself away. When discipline enters your life, your circle changes too. You start losing people who live by impulse. Not because you're better, but because you've outgrown their chaos. You become selective with time, company, and conversation. That's the natural cost of elevation. A disciplined man moves with intent. Every word, every step, every silence carries purpose. You won't find him wasting hours scrolling or gossiping. His energy is too sacred for that. Boys leak energy. Men conserve it. That's why their aura feels different, focused, grounded, unstoppable. Discipline also builds self-respect, the rarest currency in the modern world. When you do what you said you would, your soul starts to trust you again. That trust becomes confidence, that confidence becomes power, and that power becomes peace. No applause needed, only integrity. Boys are ruled by moods. Men are ruled by mission. The disciplined man shows up whether he feels like it or not. He doesn't wait for the perfect day, he creates it through effort. That mindset makes him unshakable, because he knows emotions are temporary, but results are permanent. A boy blames circumstances. A man takes control. He understands that excuses only delay progress. Discipline doesn't remove struggle, it simply trains you to move through it without losing focus. That's what makes a man unstoppable. He adapts, he adjusts, he advances. Discipline gives your life rhythm, a structure that transforms chaos into clarity. The disciplined man wakes with purpose, works with intensity, and rests with peace. He's not lost in confusion because he's anchored in commitment. That's what gives his life direction when others drift aimlessly. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't need permission. You don't wait for anyone to understand your path. You just walk it. Slowly, consistently, relentlessly. And one day, the same people who doubted your silence will respect your results. Discipline is loyalty to your potential. It's the proof that you haven't given up on yourself. Even on the hard days, even when no one notices, you keep going. That persistence carves out a strength that can't be faked, it must be forged. When you live with discipline, you become your own leader. You no longer seek motivation from others, you generate it. That's the mark of a man. He doesn't depend on outside validation to move. His drive comes from within, unshakable and eternal. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about progress. You'll slip, you'll fail, you'll restart, but you won't quit. Because discipline isn't about never falling, it's about always rising faster than before. Every setback is just another rep in the gym of life. A boy waits for the right time. A man creates it. He knows time is neutral, it only favors those who act. Discipline teaches urgency, not haste, precision, not panic. That's how men get ahead quietly, while others waste years waiting for conditions to be perfect. Discipline builds presence, that quiet power people feel when you walk into a room. It's not just how you move, it's the weight behind your movement. People can sense a man who's in control of himself. That's respect, earned without asking. In the end, discipline becomes your identity. It's no longer something you do, it's who you are. You stop negotiating with weakness. You stop explaining your choices. You just live in alignment with your purpose, and that alignment radiates strength.